So, you want to move to Thailand and live the dream? Well, living here might not be all it's cracked up to be, but it may just be better. In this video, we're going to be discussing expectations versus reality in living here, and I'm going to meet with a couple of my friends that have both lived here for a few years each, and I'll get them to share their thoughts on what it's really like living here in Thailand. Now, moving overseas, moving anywhere is way more challenging than you would think. When I first moved abroad, I made a series of mistakes, and I see countless people that move out here making the exact same mistakes that I did. I think the biggest hurdle, the biggest challenge in moving out here is just finding your way, getting yourself into a routine, making friends. It's really difficult to go somewhere new and start fresh. Your experience of being here on holidays is very different to when you move here. Well, it needs to be. And what people often do is slip into the habits of all the things that they would do here on holiday. For me, the thing I struggled most with is staying home and not doing something. When you live here, you realize you don't need to do something every single night. You don't need to be going out all the time. You don't need to do so much. You just need to sort of slow down a little bit and get into a routine and get into a pace that's comfortable to live here. You need to get good at saying no to people because there's always going to be something on, especially when you're hanging out with people that are here on holidays or not here for very long. They're going to be doing exciting things all the time, and you don't need to do all these things. You need to realize that you're here for the long term and you've got plenty of time. Now, one of the best things about living in Thailand is the cost of living. And I'm not just talking about that it's cheap to live here, but more importantly, you don't need to come out here with as much. And if you wanted to do something like start a business, you don't need to be earning as much at the beginning. Using myself as an example, I came out here with just 10,000 Australian dollars. I actually used to live in this apartment just behind me here. When I first got out here, I was paying 10,000 baht per month to live here, which is an incredible deal. In that time, I was able to live on around $1,000 per month while I was building up this channel and while I was building up my different revenue streams. So if you want to come out here and chase a dream that requires you earning a little bit less money or no money at the beginning, here is a much better place to do it because things like rent and your daily expenses are so much more affordable. All right, so I've come to catch up with my good mate Rob, Project Bangkok, and let's discuss expectations versus reality moving to Thailand.
Sure. Where should I start?
What was your experience like, positive or negative, compared to what you expected?
So I didn't come here with too many expectations. I didn't know anyone. I didn't have any friends, had no connections here. So I didn't really know what to expect. I kind of expected to feel like I was when I was on holiday for the most part. And I thought that I would arrive here, settle in for a couple of months, and there'd be this kind of like honeymoon period where it'd be great holiday feeling, and it kind of like peter off and I'd settle in. An odd thing happened actually. The more time I spent here, the more I was exploring Bangkok, getting used to what was around, how to do things, how to just silly things like ordering food courts, and everything else. And instead of honeymoon period petering off, Bangkok kind of got better for me, and Thailand got better for me. So I'm actually now enjoying Thailand, Bangkok, and the whole experience more now than when I first arrived, which
that's awesome.
Definitely not what I expected at all.
Yeah, that's cool. Is there anything that you can see as a negative that you weren't anticipating, or so it all been smooth sailing?
Probably like relationships, really, like because when you're here on holiday, you get a lot of attention, especially like the areas I was staying in. Sukhumvit, Sok, even going down to Pattaya for a week or two.
Hello, handsome man.
Yeah, hello, handsome man. Yeah. So I kind of expected to move here, go on a few dating sites, and then kind of meet someone really quickly. But it just didn't really work like that. And it's actually become a little bit of a minefield. Maybe just me being really bad on dates, or
no, just challenges.
We're just trying to find like a solid relationship. It's been a little bit difficult, but for the most part, yeah, just not too many difficulties. Thankfully, it's been
a lot of fun.
A lot of fun, absolutely.
Now, one of the biggest challenges you'll face being a digital nomad here is working in the different time zones if you're working for a company back home. The challenge is, where do you do your work at weird times? So today I've come down to True Digital Park. This is basically a giant co-working space. The space is open here 24 hours a day so that you can do your work in somewhere that's not your home. So this is essentially two giant halls, one either side of me here, that's all aimed at co-working. It's full of cafes, there's co-working spaces, there's meeting rooms, there's even a podcast studio in there. There's basically everything available if you wanted to work remotely from here in Bangkok. So if you are coming out here to Thailand to travel or to work, and especially if you're going to be doing something like using public Wi-Fi, one thing I definitely recommend doing is getting yourself a VPN. I personally use and recommend Surfshark. I've used them basically since I moved out here. Now, when you're going to be out here, staying safe is really important. I was hacked when I first got out here on a public Wi-Fi, and that's why I ended up going with a VPN. There's also things like a lot of streaming services don't work here, or things like Netflix won't show all the shows, so you can change your location to get around all of that. Now, I've got a great promo code that you can use. That's keis1. As I take a look at the website, I see awesome deals like 84% off, 4 months extra for free. These are amazing deals. This is what I first signed up with. I now get it for free. Thank you, Surfshark. So check out Surfshark. There is a link down in the description. Alternatively, you can check this QR code and stay safe when you travel here to Thailand. True Mobile Park is a really cool place. I'm not at all endorsed by them or anything like that, but I do have a lot of friends that use this regularly, and they speak really highly of the place. All right, so now I've come to catch up with Mark, and you've been living here for 2 years now?
Almost 2 years.
Yeah, awesome. So what were your biggest takeaways from like expectations versus reality for moving out here?
Expectation versus reality. I would say number one, I was expecting to be able to live off cheap Thai food, like that 40, 50 baht dish every day, and ordering Grab 2-3 times a day because our money goes a bit further here and I can allow myself to do so. But unfortunately, the reality is when I went to the doctors about 9 months ago, my blood work was fine. But a month ago, I went back and they said I had a bit too much cholesterol. And the doctor basically sat me down and gave me the speech of, you may be living in Thailand and you may be benefiting from having those cheap dishes, but they also come at a cost and it's your health. So all that krapao that is, cheap, 40 baht, but full of essentially cheap oil, not drained, the vegetables aren't cleaned, like essentially everything comes with a price. So apparently, I had to make lifestyle changes, and I cook about 90% of my meals here. I ordered macro 2 days ago. I ordered macro. I got 6 kilos of chicken breasts, and I got like 4 kilos of minced pork. And I actually make my own krapao. Got the good kitchen in the back here, and I've actually learned to enjoy to cook Thai food myself.
Nice. I have to get you to cook some and deliver it to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Use you for Grab. Yeah, that's interesting. Getting blood work and getting a health check is actually something I want to do in the future too. So you said you have one more.
Yeah, I do. The expectation versus reality of essentially living as a digital nomad in Thailand. So I thought it was going to be a pain to juggle the time frame. I work for a company in Canada and I live in Thailand. So there's 11 or 12 hours, depending on daylight savings time in Canada. Essentially, it's been amazing. It's been a blast to do it. And it's not for everyone. I will say yesterday I did work till midnight, but most days I only come in for meetings, and I also get to manage my day the way I see fit. So right now we're recording a video. I'll be going back to work right after this. And essentially, as long as the work gets done, I'm sort of free to do what I want. So I do put in the hours, but I get to choose. Is it 4 hours in the morning? Is it 8 hours straight? Is it, start at maybe 4 p.m. and then finish at midnight 1 because they're still working. It's been a lot easier than I thought it would be. I thought I'd be essentially working till 3, 4 a.m. every day and, getting like tired of it and, getting mad and saying, oh, I'm going back to Canada. But actually it's been a blast, and being a digital nomad in Thailand, for me, it's the dream. Yeah.
Awesome.
Now, my expectations versus reality for living here has been quite unique in that I came here with zero expectations. I didn't actually move here thinking that I would live here long term. I came here because the whole world was closed down and Thailand was the only place that I could really get to. And since then, Thailand is it's become my home. There's no other way to say it. I love living here.